So is the tribe of Dan rejected? Well, let's go to screen share, and I'm going to answer a question here that's been percolating throughout Christianity for quite some time. All right. So they get this question from Revelation 7. Now, there's a couple of terrible mistranslations here. I will get started with this. This verse will start in verse 1. And all after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor any tree. And I saw an angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living Elohim, and cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Elohim in their foreheads. All right. Let's go straight to verse 5. Let's just skip verse 4, shall we? Well, this is what the preachers do. Seriously, this is what the preachers do. This is the reason why you do not understand what's going on here. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali, misspelled. So is Asher misspelled. And of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Wait, hold on. Tribe of Manasseh? Wait, why does that not make sense? Well, those of you who are not versed in the tribes of Israel, this makes sense. But those who are versed in the tribes of Israel, this makes no sense. I'll explain. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. The tribe of Joseph were sealed. Wait a minute. You can't count Manasseh twice and Ephraim once. This is exactly what has happened here. They've counted Manasseh twice. How did that happen? It happened because of mistranslation. Adding and subtracting. Adding Manasseh when they should not have subtracted Dan. Now, we will go to verse 4 and do like we're supposed to, what your preachers don't do, and read context. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of what? Out of all the tribes of Israel except for Dan? Is that what it says? No. It says of all the tribes of Israel. That would then include Dan, and you have to count Joseph as one tribe. Now that should be enough. I should be able to just fold this up and go. No, because the preachers have screwed this up and the translators have screwed this up, I'm going to give a whole spiel on this. Because what's really missing here is the great multitude, the great innumerable multitude. Who are these people? Hold on. Let's go to Isaiah 49 first, before we read the rest of it, so we can get context. Isaiah 49. Okay, hold on. We'll start with the restoration of Israel first. Verse 8, thus saith Jehovah, in an acceptable time have I heard you. Not until that acceptable time. When is that acceptable time? When the time of the Gentiles is finished. Just as Paul said in Romans 11, verse 25. And of course, what commences after verse 25 is verse 26. You should go and look at it. In an acceptable day I've heard you, and in a time and a day of salvation have I helped you. What does it say in Revelation 11, verse 25 and verse 26, it says, and I quote, let me make sure, first of all, that I am screen sharing. Okay, I'm just making sure, because I really screwed this up the last time when I tried to do this. Okay. So let me quote Paul verbatim. He's speaking to the Romans and he says, "Brethren, I would not that you would be ignorant concerning this mystery, that Israel in part is blinded until the time of the Gentiles is fulfilled," or finished, or completed. And so, in sequence, after that, all Israel shall be saved. For out of Zion shall come the deliverer, and shall turn ungodliness from Jacob, for this is my new covenant with them. See Jeremiah 31, verses 31 through 34, and see Hebrews 8, verses 8 through 12 for proof. My covenant with them, when I shall take away their sins. Okay. All right. In an acceptable time will I hear you. In the day of salvation will I help you, and I will preserve you and give you for a covenant of the people to establish the land, Eretz, that's the land of Israel, and to cause them to inherit the desolate heritages again, that you may say to the prisoners, go forth, and they that are in darkness show yourselves, and they shall feed in the ways, and their pastures shall be in high places. They shall no longer thirst nor hunger, neither shall the heat of the sun smite on them. For he that has mercy on them shall lead them by the spring of water. Who's he? What is this? And I will make all my mountains a way. That's the mountains of Israel a way, and my highway shall be exalted. And these people shall come from far. They shall come from the north, from the west, from the land of the east. Sing, O heaven, and be joyful, O earth, and break forth into singing, O mountains, for Jehovah has comforted his people, that's Israel, and will have mercy upon his afflicted. But Zion said, Jehovah has forsaken me, and my Elohim has forgotten me. Okay. So in what way is he going to do this? He's going to send them the Messiah, which is written about here. Listen, O you coastlands, unto me, those that are the captives that are scattered in the coastlands of Europe and beyond. And listen unto me, my people from afar. Jehovah has called me from the womb. This is a Messiah speaking in the future. In other words, Isaiah was a prophet. He was prophesying about the Messiah in the future, speaking from the womb. Jehovah did not call Yehoshua from before the womb. He called him from the womb. This is not what your preacher tells you. From the bowels of my mother, he made mention of my name. When? When Gabriel came to Miriam and told him that you will bear a son, and his name will be not Jesus, but Yehoshua. He has made my mouth like a sharp sword. Yes, a sharp sword that proceeds out of his mouth. In the shadow of his hand has he hid me. So, in other words, in all of the Old Testament and the prophets, he was hidden. The one who was speaking was Jehovah, the Father. Yehoshua was hidden in the shadow of his hand. He has made me a polished shaft in his quiver as he hid me. Okay. And he said unto me, you are my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. So in other words, what he's saying is, the Messiah is going to be glorified in Israel. Then he said, I said, I have labored in vain, I have spent my strength for nothing. This is at his death. In vain, yet surely my judgment is with Jehovah, and my work is with Jehovah. And now saith Jehovah that formed me from the womb. From the womb, folks. Get used to it. Don't listen to your Roman Catholic preachers, your evangelical preachers, your Amish, your Mennonite preachers. They all are telling you untruth. He was formed from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. Not only that, though Israel not yet be gathered, in his day when he was born, Israel was not gathered them. Okay, but he's going to be. Yet I should be glorious in the eyes of Jehovah, and my Elohim shall be my strength. And he said, it is a small thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give you for a light to the Gentiles. And he did, through Paul, through the Apostle Paul, that you may be my salvation to the ends of the earth. Thus saith Jehovah, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to whom man despised, to whom the Gentiles abhorred. Yes. Yes, when he comes, the nations are going to mourn, because they're going to reject him until they are beaten down to a pulp. Thus saith Jehovah, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him that man despised, to him that the nations abhor, to a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise, and princes will going to bow down to him. Because Jehovah is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel, he shall choose you. Now we go see the restoration of Israel. Now look at here. Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Oh, she might forget, but I will not forget you, Israel. I have engraved you on the palm of my hands. Your walls, Jerusalem, are continually before me. Your children, Jerusalem, shall make haste. Your destroyers, that would be Rome and the Muslims and the Byzantines and the Persians, and they, all that made you waste, shall flee, shall run from you. Lift up your eyes round about and look at all these people gathering themselves together, and they're coming to you. Now, Jehovah is swearing by himself, as I live, saith Jehovah, you shall surely clothe yourself with them all. All of who? All of the children of Israel, as with an ornament, and bind them on you as a bride does. For your waste and your desolate places in the land of your destruction, even now, will be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants. So the land of Israel, as promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Moses, and Yehoshua, the first Yehoshua that people call Joshua today, that land is going to be too small for this great innumerable multitude that is coming. By reason of the inhabitants, and those that swallowed you, that's Rome, shall be far, far away. The children which you shall have after you lost the others, they shall say in your ears, this place is too small for me. Give me room that I may dwell. And you shall say unto your heart, who has begotten these, seeing that I have lost my children, and am desolate, a captive, removed to and fro? And who brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. Where have they been? Look. Is it Revelation 7? Yes. Verse 13, and one of the elders answered, saying unto me, what are these that are arrayed in white robes, and where did they come from? And I said unto him, sir, you know. And he said, these are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. And they will be before the throne of Jehovah, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sits on the throne shall dwell with them, and they shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more. All right, watch this. We'll all right. I will finish this. Okay, so he says, who's brought these back? Where did they come from? The answer is verse 22. Thus saith Jehovah Elohim, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the Gentiles. And they, the Gentiles, are going to bring your sons in their arms, and your daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. You see? And the kings, the Gentile kings, shall be your nursing fathers, and the queens shall be your nursing mothers, and they shall bow down to you, and their faces shall be toward the earth, and they shall lick up the dust of your feet, and you shall know that I am Jehovah, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Shall the prey, Israel, be taken away from the mighty, or the lawful captive be delivered? For thus saith Jehovah, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with them who contended with you, and I will save your children. All right. Now, look what it says here again. I'm going to read it again. Verse 10, they shall not hunger nor thirst, neither shall the heat or sun smite on them. Revelation 7, verse 16, they shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither the sun light on them, nor any heat. Who are these people? Okay. The 144,000, they are figuratively pure and literally pure. All right? Because it says so in Revelation 14. No, that's not it. I need to start another one, do I? Well, let's do that. Bible Hub. Revelation 14. Oh, come on. So it talks about the lamb and 144,000 again. So we're going, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Strong's Concordance. Okay. Verse 1, and lo, I looked, and lo, and lamb stood on Mount Zion. Okay, so this event is going to be on Mount Zion, where people are not going to be thirsting or hungering anymore, okay? That's Jerusalem. And with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and the voice of great thunder, and I heard the voice of harpers harping. And they were sung a new song before the throne, before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the land. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. Well, a man can't be a virgin, can he? All right, let's look at this. Let's examine this. For they were, follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These are the redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto Jehovah and unto the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne. Okay, virgins. A maiden or a virgin. Well, that's female. Usage, maiden, virgin, but also extended to men who have not known women. Now, once again, now look here. Believers that are pure and chaste. Okay. Well, pure is both literally and figuratively. A lot of people, they want to remove the literal and only make it figurative, or they want to say spiritually only, but not physically. Well, that's wrong. It's both. Both, which means they are also pure-blooded Israelites of each and every single tribe that was aforementioned. Okay? Now, going back to Revelation 7. In verse 9, and after this I beheld, and a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations, kindreds, and peoples, and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Well, see, that happened before, except it wasn't before the throne. These were the children of Israel that had palms in their hands in the days of Yehoshua the first time. They cried with a loud voice, salvation to our Elohim. Well, that sounds familiar, because Yehoshua, or Yehoshua, means Jehovah is salvation, which sits upon the throne and the Lamb. Okay. Now, in verse 13 it says, and one of the elders said, where did these arrayed in white robes, where did they come from? And I said, sir, you know. And he said, these which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Okay. We just read in Isaiah 49 that at the appointed time, this is going to happen. This is going to happen when the time of the Gentiles come to an end. Just like Paul said in Romans 11, verses 25 through 27, 28, whatever. Okay, but after the time of the Gentiles has come to an end, then all the captives of Israel are going to be brought in. So you will have the 144,000, which are pure, literally and physically pure, figuratively and literally pure, which means spiritually and physically pure. Okay, it means both. You can't have one without the other in that particular scenario, because they are all of each of the tribes of Israel. They are 100% of each of the tribes of Israel. Dan will be included. It is not John's fault that they mistranslated it. Okay? So then, who are these in the 144,000? We see that there's not going to, look, you can't sit here and say that there is not enough room in Israel for 144,000. We just read in here, there's not going to be enough room. It was in, I believe it was in this one. Or was it in another one? We just read it. There is not going to be enough room. Yes, right here. Verse 20, the children which you shall have, after you've lost the others, shall say in your ears, the place is too strait, too small for me. Give me room to dwell. 104 is a lot of room for 144,000. So this is not talking about 144,000. This is talking about the innumerable multitude. This is talking about verse 10, they shall hunger nor thirst, neither shall the sun smite on them, for he shall have mercy upon them. This is the same as Revelation 7 and verse 19 and 20 and 21. Verse 16, 13, I said. Verse 16, it says, and they shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. Exactly as it says in Isaiah 49 and verse 10. These are Israelites, but they are not pure. They had to wash themselves in the blood of the Lamb, you see. Who are these people? Let me show you who they are. I'm going to my FTDNA, and what do you see here? An Israelite that is not pure. Me. FTDNA. 95% European, 5% Jewish diaspora. What? Why am I claiming this? Why? All right, I will show you why. I believe it's in Jeremiah 30. No, it's not. Okay. Fault. Amos 9. That's here. That's where it's at. Okay. For look, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all the nations. Like corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the ground. In other words, he's going to scatter all Israel into all the nations, and not one single drop of Israeli blood, when the time comes for restoration, not one single drop of Israeli blood is going to be left behind. Not even 5%. Got it? I hope you got it. There is your answer to Revelation 7, my friends. Oh, you're wondering what's going to happen to the Gentiles? Oh, I almost forgot. Let me go there. Matthew 25. Verse 31, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, this is after the kingdom is set up. This is when the kingdom is set up, when the 12 apostles are sitting on the thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel are already back. All the great innumerable multitude, the 140, they're all already there. The kingdom is set in place. When he shall sit upon the throne of his glory, and then before him shall be gathered all the Gentiles. That's right, that's what it says. You don't believe it? Go and look it up. The word is ethnos in Greece. That word means all the tribes of the earth with the exception of Israel. That's what it says. Go look it up for yourself in Strong's Concordance. Here's your homework for today. And he shall separate them one from another as a shepherd divides the sheep from the goats, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand and the goats on his left. And then the king shall say unto them on his right hand, oh, he's talking to the Gentiles, which are not of it, have no Israelite blood in them. You come too. How wonderful is this? He's inviting the Gentiles to come into his kingdom. Which Gentiles are they? Come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry and you gave me money. Is that what it says? Or you gave the preacher money? No. You gave me meat. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you took me in. Naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came unto me. And then shall the righteous among the Gentiles. Go look up righteous among the Gentiles today and you will find out who they are. Look it up on Google. Just type in righteous among the Gentiles. That's them. Then shall the righteous among the Gentiles answer, saying, Master, not Lord, Master, when did we see you hungry and fed you, or thirsty and gave you drink? When saw we a stranger and took you in, or naked and clothed you? Or when did we see you sick or in prison and came unto you? And the king shall say unto them, because you did it to one. That's right, one. One? One. One of the least, lowest, the most despised of these my brethren, you have done it unto me. Now, if he's saying this to the Gentiles, this is the judgment of the Gentiles when Israel is already brought in. What it means is Gentiles, Israel, Gentiles, the Jews. I was hungry and you gave me meat. Because you did it to one of the least of these Jews, Israelites, you have done it unto me. You only did it to one of them. It's the same as doing it to him. Once, oh, you don't believe it's talking about the Gentiles? Okay, fine. I'll do your work for you. Strong's Concordance. All nations, ethnos. Let me show you something. A race, a nation, the nations as distinct from Israel. The heathen, the world, the Gentiles. So, this is exclusively the judgment of the Gentiles. And then by default, the least of his brethren are Israel, the Jews. You see, that is how the Gentiles, the righteous among the Gentiles, are going to be righteous among the Gentiles. I can't even spell this morning. All right, looky here. Bestowing when Yad Vashem, the Shoah, Shoah is a Holocaust, the martyrs and heroes, remembrance authority was established in 1953 by the Knesset. One of its tasks was to commemorate the righteous among the nations. The righteous were defined as non-Jews who risked their lives to save the Jews during the Holocaust. And there, folks, you have it. And Yehoshua is saying that extends to every Gentile. Every single Gentile who gave a Jew water to drink when that Jew was thirsty, who gave a Jew a meal to eat when that Jew was hungry, even if it was just one. Now, how can any man not appreciate this kind of judgment? How can you not? Okay, so there you have it, folks. So I think I have covered enough for today concerning who are the 144,000 and who is the innumerable multitude, who are the righteous among the Gentiles. I think I've covered enough for today.